Hey everybody, Andrew here. We're back again on the SMB server for yet another episode. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for joining me. As you can see, we are properly attired today. Yes, I've got all armored up. Yeah, I spent some time over at Dadcraft's gold XP farm there and got a whole bunch of levels, made up some armor, enchanted it all. Yeah, we're good to go. So, all right, that little hiccup is behind us. Yes, sir. All right, so what we're here today is, you can see I got a big hole, sideways hole going on here. Well, what actually, we're at the bottom of the elevator shaft here, and this is going to be where the sheep farm is going in. I'm going to put it in right here, going down that way. It's about 26, 28 blocks long, about that way. You can see, as I was digging it out, discovered a little cave here. It was actually a rather small system. It just bends around and it just kind of corkscrews a little bit. Couple of resources, not much. Lit it all up so there's no spawn. No big deal. But what we need to do is the back here. This is about the back as far back as we need to go. I need to dig this thing up. If I remember right, like 16 blocks is the height that we need. And right about up in that corner, in that direction, just above those 16 blocks, and I think it's like 17, is that other shaft going across where I had brought the sheep in. The sheep are back over in that area. So once this is all dug out and then we have the sheep farm, I could just run those sheep over and across and then into this thing, and we can populate it and get it going. But right now, I just wanted to show you where we were at. Let me get this thing completely dug out so that we don't have to do any more digging and we can just focus on the sheep farm. We'll get that in, and then I think we'll wrap up the episode with doing some kind of a stairway, an entrance, an exit, if you will, depending on which way you're going, from the elevator down to the branch mine. We'll finish up with this guy here. So, all right, we'll be back in a little bit. And there we go. Nice and dug out. Yeah. You see, that's a little over 20 blocks tall. It's about 30 blocks long, which actually I think turned out to be probably about 5 or 6 blocks longer than I needed to, but you know what? Haste too. What are you going to do? And I've gone ahead and thrown a couple of blocks down here in the nice little entryway, and I've got my little workstation here set up. I brought down, and I collected up and brought down the supplies we're going to need for the sheep farm. Pretty much, I mean, is what you can see here, and I'm not sure yet which door I'm going to use. I'm thinking I might go with the dark oak because it looks a little better with the diorite, but I don't know. We'll see. And then these blocks down here, this is going to be for some aesthetics around the farm. And I was thinking maybe instead of torches, I might use sea lanterns. I don't know. These are kind of after the fact. And all of this up here is the farm itself. All right. So what we've got doing, what we got going here, I've got a little, this is where the redstone, the guts of the redstone is just going to be down here. And it's not really a lot. It's just a few blocks. It's just we're going to be making a clock, in a dispenser clock kind of a deal. You'll see here real quick. It's very straightforward, very simple. Now let me get myself oriented. The middle guy is right here. So we're going to put one there. And we need, oops, let me kind of organize my bar. I should not be running into mobs here. Should not be. But we've got armor. I should be able to buy myself a little time if we do need to get away from them. But let me just get all my stuff on the hot bar here so that I'm not constantly swapping back and forth 2 blocks. And we'll need that. There. I think that's pretty much got the majority of it right there. So, all right. So we need redstone. Need a repeater on full delay. We'll put a block there. Put a block there with a torch on the end of it. And we need another repeater going back this way again on full delay. All right, good. I got out of the way there. And, oops, I could need to go back here. Oh, I didn't realize that. Did I go down far enough? Wait a minute. That is 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, hang on a second. I'll be right back. I didn't go down far enough. Okay, there we are. That's, I just wasn't down one block far enough. You didn't need to see me do that over again. All right, so here we were. We had our repeaters there going opposite directions. And so basically what we're going to have is a signal that's just going to kind of pulse and go around and around like this. That's basically what we're doing, and having a little bit of a delay just makes it a nice slow tick, pulsing, if you will, kind of a clock instead of a fast clock, because a fast clock is not what we're after. So this is the line coming, and you can already see that that's because because of the torch. I place the torch down and the torch down there, put this redstone, and we get this slow, click, click, click once we put the dropper in place there. And for anybody that is now seasick and nauseous from that, I apologize. All right, and here is a way to shut it off. Is that little lever right there? That's how we're going to turn this clock, make the clock. We can disable the clock instead of having it constantly running. We just put a power into this, and that way this is powered all the time. And if I want to turn it back on, I just unpower that lever and we get our clock back. And that's basically the way that goes. And that's the redstone. All right, now let me get situated here for the collection part. All right, now for the collection, we're going to put a double chest right here. This is where, when we walk up to the system, we're going to be able to collect all of the wool that we have sheared is going to get collected right there, and then we can access it and be back on our way, or whatever we're going to do. Head down the branch mine, up the elevator, whatever. So the first thing we need to do as far as the collection part is we're going to need to deal with our shears. And get over to the other side, and we want one dropper straight up, and then the other dropper we want to put right back at us. Now I need I've already got the hoppers in place here, so we want 2 hoppers facing into that bottom dropper, going that way. And then I'm going to take some cotton, or rather carpet, just put over top of the hoppers, make it look all nice and pretty. Okay, and that basically what this will do now is you'll see that it'll make this thing click, and it'll pulse these droppers, and it'll spit out shears as we're standing here in front of you. You probably have seen that kind of a setup before. It's pretty straightforward. Now, as far as the collection of the wool, again, I keep forgetting, I already set it up. We have hoppers that are going to go here. We need 6 of them. 1, 2, 3. And now let me stand over here and pop the haste. Let's try not to dig too deeply, because we don't need to go down any more than just that. So we have 6 hoppers right there, all pointing into that chest. Then we have, let's see, we have a gap of 2 right here, like that. And we'll put our little blocks right there, just sticking with our theme, because I like to use the polished diorite as building blocks, just to separate it from the aesthetics of the surrounding room. And now we need 2 and 3 right there, 3 blocks out, and that one will go that one and pointing into that one, and this one will point into that one. So basically these 2 outlying hoppers point into this one points into that one, and then runs on down to the chest. And this will be where the sheep, or the sheared sheep, the wool will fall, and it'll head on back that way. All right, let me get set up for the next part, which is going to be our containment area here for the sheep. Let me get those resources in place. Okay, look at that. I just was playing around with a little bit of a little front in there. I've got the door here. I kind of like that. It's a neat little design. And I think I might try carrying that along the walls and whatnot, but we'll deal with that once the farm is done. But I've got, as you can see, the little switch is right there. I'm using an upside down stair to be able to access that. We've got these closed in, and so now what I need to do is we need glass, 2, 3, 4 right there, and then we need to have a building block right there, and we're going to put a ladder on that. And this ladder is going to help prevent water from water and other things from running backwards. You'll see that in just a bit here. So, oops, I did it. I usually do that. I always pop that out. It needs to go there. Off by one error. No, get on there. Thank you. All right, so let's remember we needed 2 space and then 2 space right there. Yep, and because we're going to stand right here is where we're going to be standing. So, all right, now we put glass over top of these guys here. Now, starting right here, we need a block there, a block there. Right here is going to start our grass. Okay. Now I'm going to put glass over top of the grass, and that will prevent this grass from being eaten by the sheep, and it'll serve as seed blocks, if you will. So now we need to go and put a whole bunch of grass going back here for our sheep to munch on. Because once you when you shear sheep, it's the grass that allows them to regrow their wool. So now we need that here, and that is actually exactly what we want to have happen. We need to do a double, and I didn't really count. I don't know, maybe you counted. But that was a little fast for me to count. But I only needed like 15 or 16 back, I believe here. So we have a piece of glass here, and now we're going to start. We go 1, 2, 3, and that will be where our first torch goes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, torch. 1, 2, 3, 4, torch. This whole farm is pretty much repeatable. We're going to build like a layer, and then we're just going to kind of repeat it. We'll turn it in for end, so that the end piece down there will become the end piece like right here, and then we'll go back again, and then we'll go back, reverse it and go back again. We'll have 4 layers in here. So I'm going to build this bottom layer. But the others will just all get done off camera, because I know this is going to take a while to do. So now with that in place, we need our... oops, I went back 1 too many. And sacrifice... Oh, is this my silk touch? Hey, that is my silk touch. I was thinking... I was thinking earlier. Yay me! Okay, let's pop that one out. Oops. Here, thank you. And put a grass block in there. Now we have that, and okay, our building block is already on the hotbar. So we have that, and we need to go up 4. Come off of there. Oops, our ladders. Ding, ding, ding. We have a torch on either side. Now this is, strangely enough, I've never before really encountered this way of using carpet as far as a build goes. And we pop 3 of those tall, just like that, and stack. And all this really is serves as a barrier. See, I can't go off the side. Okay, it's preventing me from going sideways off the ladder. Yet you can still see through it. So it's a pretty ingenious use of carpet. I don't know if that was its intended purpose, but that is how we are going to use it. All right, so now glass. We need glass up here. Oop. Want to put a piece of glass there, and I'm in the way. Going across. Oh yeah, we don't need. It doesn't really need to be in the corners. I mean, I can always come back later. Oh, and I didn't mean to fall off, but no big deal. And that is that. Let me pop tall again here, and we need this to be just a few more over right there. And that is because this is how far we're going to let the water go out to. Now, let's go back down here. Now we start our next. So this is pretty much the layer right here. You can see the sheep are going to be. Oh, there's a piece of glass there. So the sheep are going to be in here on this row. This little guy of grass right here. This is where the sheep will be. And what we need to do next is I need to get my grass back on the hot bar. And we're going to get right on the edge of that. And there's going to be a piece of grass, and there's going to be a piece of grass. Just like that. And we are going to run these pieces of grass and all the way back, matching this side over here, just like that. So now the sheep, they can't get out. The torches can light up everything, but the sheep can't get out, and they'll have no choice but go this way and continue on through this maze of a farm. Now, right here off of, let's see, can I reach that with my fence post? Yep, there we go. Now that fence post will allow the sheep to get kind of over the hump, if you will. I know I use that phrase a lot. I apologize if you guys are tired of hearing me say, if you will, if you will. And it's kind of my other one is at any rate. I say those two a lot. So now the idea is that the sheep will come up here. There will be a water stream that pushes them this way. Whoops. I'm having a hard time simulating it. But they'll come up across, and then they'll get pushed onto this layer. And this layer here is basically going to be a repeat of the layer down below. And we just need to get our torches in place. Trying to find my torch. Do it like that. So here's the torch right there. Like that. Just, there we go. And then torch, I believe, right there. Onto that end. Yay! Now we just got to hop back in the center. Okay, I don't need to hop back in the center. I got torches. Oh, no, misfoot. Out of bounds. All right, we get that there. Okay, so basically that is going to be the deal that way. And let me get the water in here. I believe we used a sign right here, and then we put the water in like so. Oops. All right, so now what we'll do is end up kind of, finish out this grass piece, and then we're going to do it again going up that way, basically the same as this, and then we're going to come back this way and then go up and then back. And there's going to be a little bit of difference in the very top front corner. And I'll bring you back once we get up to that spot. We'll pick it up again, and I'll show you the differences, and then we'll kind of finish it out the front, and you'll see how we close this loop. All right, I'll be back in a little bit. And we're back, and you can see I've pretty much continued this thing on to all 4 levels. So we've got our base level, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and then the top layer up there. Now the idea is that these sheep will just work their way through the system, come across the top and down. But we need to finish off the top corner up there like I alluded to before. Don't want to build everything off camera so you don't get to have any enjoyment. Let me see how good I am at throwing it in a pearl. Oh yeah, look at that. Right on the top beam. So here we are on the very top most piece. And, oh, that was close. So the sheep will come from here. This is the topmost layer. Even we got dirt here. This is for just grass seeding. So the distance between 2 blocks and one that has dirt blocks and one that has grass, and it'll reseed and whatnot. So anyhow, now, so they're going to come up here. They're going to have this ladder to come up, but we don't want them to go that way. We want them to go that way. So what we need to do, oh, that was that was close again. So what we do is we add an extra fence post over here. Okay, and now we get my glass. That should be the end of the fence posts. And we're going to put pieces of glass right here. Coming right up to the side of the fence post. Same thing. Come on. There we go. Same thing on this side. And we'll have it across the top there. Now, what we need to do, now this sign here will prevent the water from going down into the shaft. But what we need is to have a water stream pushing that direction, going to push them down into that little drop-off point. So what we're going to do is put the source block here. The ladder will keep it from going that way. The fence post will keep the water from going that way. So the water only has that way to go, just like that. So now the sheep will come up, water stream will push it over and down into that in this little chute. And because there's water down below there, the sheep won't get damaged by the fall. But that's how they'll come up to this top corner. They'll head all the way down. And we'll be standing right there on that carpet. And we'll have the shears, and we'll just be shearing them as they fall. And then the sheep will make their way, snake their way back through this system again, all the way back up to this top corner and fall down. And the idea is that along the way, they will have munched once or twice on some grass, regrown their wool by the time they get to the top, and we can shear them again when they fall down. Okay, so I've gone ahead and dug that little pen, dug a tunnel around. This is my little quick access area from the elevator. So I've gone ahead, like I said, I've dug this out. I added a little piece of carpet there. So dug it back, dug it around. I may need to open this up a little bit. I don't think so. I think the sheep could fit through here. But, you know, I mean, hey, I can always pull it out. But the idea is that we're going to funnel them around, and they should not be able to get from here to on top of that. This should be far enough of a block. And then the fence posts will funnel them in across, and I've got 2... what do you call these? Trapdoors. The trapdoors. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the wheat in my hand as I'm bringing them across. Then I'm going to run and jump over here and then real quick open that one up and open this one up. And then they should see this as a full block and then fall down. You know what? I'm thinking I might want to put a piece of glass or something right here so that they don't get stuck on that ledge. Hang on a second, I'll be right back. That's better. There we go. All right, let's get that put back away. Ender pearls over there. All right, so now the idea is, like I said, we're going to try to get them to follow me. And then when I'm going to open those things up, and we'll see how this goes. Now that's a dozen, and we'll see. Hopefully, we get them going through the system. Probably need to breed up a few more, and we'll get going. So let me clean this all up, get everything back, and then I'll meet you back down front. Yes, we are staring at a couple of sheep here. The reason was I loaded up the machine as you saw. And then I found after a couple of testing that it just wasn't performing. And just the sheep, there was not enough sheep to cycle through the system at any decent rate. So I went back and I got some more sheep. I bred up probably about 50 more sheep, and I just got done stuffing them into the machine too. But I held a couple of back just in case if I ever needed more sheep. So that's what these are here. So we drop down in the elevator, and ooh, look at this. We've got some texturing on the walls, and voila. There it is. Yes. We have our sheep farm, and you can see the sheep coming through this guy here. There's still some delays every so often, but for the most part, we have plenty of sheep roaming through this thing now, cycling through. They just come off the top, fall down into this chute here, and then we can, do I have a pair of shears? I can just shear them up, and as you see the wool pops off and it gets collected and it'll come back down over here. But that's the idea, is that I would just stand here AFK, maybe put a weight or something on the right mouse button or remap it to a key on my keyboard, and then I just go AFK, and after enough time, I come back and I have this thing all nice and full. Right now I've got every sheep in here is white, so that way I can just dye to the color that I need for a few blocks. But if I needed a mass color, I could just stand in here AFK for a while with some dye and just re-dye all the sheep as they come through, and then trim them all up. But okay, I made some alterations or some some aesthetic designs on the walls here. I added some patterning and lots of lights in here, so it's nice and bright, so that these the grass here will have plenty of light. You can see it's pretty much it's a double-digit light all around. I figured I'll leave the torches on there just in case. It doesn't really bother me one way or the other. But there should be no mob spawns in here whatsoever. And then back here, I'm just going to leave this here. I decided I'll just leave it in case I need to add more sheep. I don't know why I would, but I'll just leave it there. And here's the little drawbridge, little walkway, a little walk path, and back here is where we were just at with the sheep right there. Hey, I know this video is running a little long, but there's one last thing I need to show you guys. I mentioned it earlier, was going to be the last thing we worked on, but you notice this little white, the polished diorite ring here I made around this opening. That gave me an idea for the last piece that we're going to look at here, which is feather falling, which is this guy right here. We come off, I had mentioned it how we were going to come off of the elevator, we'll have our sheep farm, and then we'd have some way down to the branch mine. Well, I took that little white, the polished diorite ring, and kept some of the design aesthetic flowing through, making a slight modification, slight difference. I kept the sandstone and everything on that side, but using the brick stairs and polished diorite, and then the chiseled brick and all of that, I've come down here, and here is our the beacons right here. But so that's pretty much it. I really like the way this turned out. I think that looks pretty good to me. Yeah. So the sheep farm is all done. Our elevator is done. We have a new main entrance. I'm going to call this the main entrance to our branch mine. I'll probably go ahead and maybe close off that that back stairwell there. Hey guys, I know I couldn't leave the video without actually having tested this thing. So as you can see, I'm here AFK, been AFK all night actually on this thing. So a few hours, several hours, and I just wanted to see the rates at which we're getting. So let me go ahead and take the keep the I had a stapler on my mouse there. All right, cool. That's free. All right. Do we have any room? Can I throw that back? No. All right. Yeah. Let's take a look and see. Hey, there we go. Some sheep right here in reach. All right. Let's see how we've done for an overnight of wool. Oh my God. Yeah, okay, it works. I'm going to call that a successful test. Okay, one night and I am basically full of wool. Great. I love this thing. Okay, now we got to figure out something to do with all this. I wonder who's going to get it. Okay, there was one other thing I forgot to show you guys, and that was right here. I cleaned up the chest. You notice there's no more stairway. It's because I hid it. I just didn't like that thing sticking out there, so I went and put that in. So now it looks nice. All right, okay, guys, thanks for joining me on this video. Always appreciate you hanging out. If you got any comments, questions, leave them in the comments section there. If you liked it, give me a little poundage on that like button. Subscribe if you want to know when the next ones are coming out. And me and the sheep, I guess we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.